So I'm recording now, and this is my YouTube video. What's going on, guys? This is King Kiasma here. So let me actually stop playing around. But no, seriously, this is actually going to be like my little guide. I'm going to help you guys out on basically taking care of Masquerade and all his little craziness. So, I mean, to be honest with you, as you were saying earlier, Elwin, that it's really kind of tough, but it's a fun fight, right? So basically, and enjoy this for you as well, you just kind of want to dodge into his attacks, and that's going to be a thing that comes around a lot, especially with future bosses in PSO2. Even if you are playing in episode 6, a lot of episode 6 bosses, then they actually kind of change up your playstyle. It's no more, you know, staying around and like trying to stay as far away from the enemy as possible and just blasting about and trying to dodge away from the enemy. Your plan here now is to dodge into the enemy. So basically all you want to do is kind of anticipate that attack coming. Now, the one thing about Masquerade is Masquerade always has a pattern. Quick question, did I ever subscribe to you before? I think so. Either that, but you were subbed before. I'm not entirely sure. So when he starts off, of course, he's always going to do that first 3 dash. Now, it's always going to be 3. It's never going to be anything else, right? So when he comes at you, and always make sure he does have 2 lock-on spots. He has one on his stomach and one on his chest. Always make sure it's the one on the chest so you can get that extra damage. When he comes in with that swing, you can tell when he's about to do the swing just because he sets up. You can actually just go 1, 2, 3. Now, either you can sidestep or dodge into the attack. If you dodge into the attack, you see those iframes just kind of save your life. So it's all about abusing those iframes, you know. Watch out for that blast. Try to just anticipate the moves before he does it. Normally after the jab, he'll go into the spin. Normally after the spin, he'll go into the 3 slashes. Like I said, you just want to kind of try to anticipate as much as possible. But always, anticipation just comes with experience, you know. If you haven't fought him before, you're not going to know what he's going to do because you haven't fought him before. So basically, you just want to kind of keep that thought process. Stay patient. The moment you mess up is when you come in and start mashing PAs and you don't know what he's going to do next. After the move, take a couple of shots like that right there. I just kind of dashed it on him. He almost got me. Take your moves, get your hits in as much as you can, and just wait for the next one. And he will always leave himself open. Now, if you have things on your attack like these gun blades, they do have things like those guard frames. Those guard frames are beautiful. You can actually block off some of his attacks and keep dealing damage even with the guard frames, right? Even with these orbs here, just make sure you dash around them. Don't have to do too much. If you're playing hero, you can actually abuse those orbs for a counter. Same with any other class as well that has a counter. Any type of projectile he does, any of these, anytime you dash through an attack, that's basically a free counter strike that you can hit back on him. So make sure to abuse that as much as possible. If you're playing another class, this is just your free chance to get a nice little hit on them, right? Of course, he does have 2 phases. His second phase, if you use the same weapon for too long, he will then start negating the damage from that attack. So make sure you always pretty much just start off with the weapon. I got frozen, really. Make sure you just kind of start off with that weapon that you don't want him to negate first. More likely your weakest weapon, or something you just don't use as much but still have some nice use for. A lot of enemies will start doing this throughout episode 6 as well, so it's good to just kind of have that multi-weapon use. I know some players like to actually, you know, go with that one weapon at a time, but this definitely helps. Now, when it comes to that, the time stop, now of course you can actually wiggle all of that just like with Luther, so there's no big worry there. Now here's where the problem can lie. If he doesn't do the sword slash before time stop or before he starts like vanishing all over the place, he's going for the grab. So you want to time out that grab. You can actually counter the grab if you're fast enough with it. You can pop out a quick PA and get out of the way, or you can counter it if you're actually extra good at it. But other than that, if he goes for the time stop slash first, then that's what you know he's actually just going to go for the sword swing. And when you go for the sword swing, you can counter that, whatever, you can time it right. Now the second phase here is where you want to start switching up a weapon, where you start seeing the little Aegis shield come up. After he does the 3 swing, as you can see, he's going to try to do the blast afterwards. I'm going to actually go over that in a second because now he's using a clone. With the clone, is very simple. Just make sure you wipe this easily. He's like right behind a pillar, so it's going to be hard to kill. If you cannot wipe the clone before he starts moving, which is about 5 to 10 seconds before he starts moving, if you can't wipe it, divide and conquer. You can actually split up the clone. Don't try to fight them all at once, especially if it's too hard to handle. If you try to fight them all at once, you can end up getting killed. Other than that, make sure you just keep a good view on where they are, because they will try to do that jab at you, and that stinger hurts like hell. If you have too many of these tendrils up, he can actually bounce you off of the tendrils, so be careful with that as well. When it comes to dodging this attack here, the phase 2 swing, go 1, 2, 3, 4. What I like to do is I like to dodge in on the blast and back on the swing just to keep a nice pattern going. I'll show you in a minute. 1, 2, dodge in, back on the swing, and I can keep going, you know, with like an extra attack. If I'm doing like a normal or something, I can keep going. So I mean, it's a nice little rotation I practice. I did it with Phantom, so it works a lot better with Phantom than it works. Now here you can kind of do whatever you want. I was going to actually pull out my gun blade and use aim shot, but I'm not really serious about this and using this as a tutorial basis. So you can either do this, or if he's actually getting too heavy for you on that part, you can hide behind a pillar and dodge that entire attack. So use the pillars to your advantage. Pillars are daddy. They protect. But yeah, use that pillar if you have to use it. I'm going to go back to my gun blade because I need some HP. Thank you. I'm gonna see that dash. You dash into the attack. Those iframes just work for you. You have to do none of the work. If you do get hit, if you have something like Iron Will, if you have something like Light Still Strike on your weapons, you'll be fine. Just get your health back immediately. Wait for that swing. As like I said, if he does the sword swing before the time stop, he's going to go for that secondary swing. Go back. Oh, I missed that backstab. Oof, wow. I missed my Phantom already. The backstab is so clean. Dodge into the attacks. And if you just keep that up, you will have no problem. Now, of course, it's going to take a couple of tries to get this. No one really ever got it on that first go. I know I definitely didn't. It took me a better part of a week to kind of get this down. And at some point, I got really good at fighting this guy. Now, it is going to get to a point later on where he's going to start doing more clones. It's not just going to be 1. It's going to be up to about 4. And it's just going to be insane. Hopefully, by then, we'll get the advanced PA so we can just wipe them instantly. But if you're using Hero, another good tip is to use Hero time when he summons the clone. Like I said, there's like a 5 to 8, 5 to 10 second window before the clone starts moving. So you can wipe the clone just as fast as they appear. And it's like they never even showed up. You're just getting free damage on both of them. So with that, you have victory and you have completed your Masquerade run. That is all for this video today, guys. Even though I am live streaming this and my outro is going to be terrible, but if you want to catch more live PSO2 content, please make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/King Cosma, and I will check you guys next time. You have a great day. All right, cool. That's how I record. That's how I record. That's how we do it.